So this is a workout I did back in March of 2024. It's Krav Maga Global's workout for graduate level 5, so G5. That's the level that you get to do when you are 7.5 years into your training. It's the 10th exam. It's a pretty tough grading, so it's the level just before expert level or black belt level. This workout is going to comprise of 30 push-ups with strikes and defenses, 40 squats with strikes and defenses, 50 sit-ups with, again, strikes and defenses. You then do a 3-minute plank, 8 towel grip pull-ups, and then 60 jab-cross-sprawls in 5 minutes. So it's a hell of a lot. You then have to do the whole thing again. So it's a lot of reps. I managed to get through the thing in 32 minutes. Let's see how I got on. So at the time I did this workout, this was March 2024, there was no guidelines published on how these reps should be done. So here I'm just doing punches and elbows and hammers to the ground. You could do a backward hammer fist with these as well, so you can look back over your shoulders like the world's greatest stretch. And here I'm doing like an outside defense to all 4 directions as well. It's actually easier to do these push-ups with these movements in between. You could also do a stabbing defense. You could punch like a bag overhead, although I think that's a bit more unrealistic, but I could be punching that bag that's in front of me. Zoom through these. And then squats with kicks. So these kicks can go diagonally outwards. Here I'm kicking the bag, I'm using the bag as a drishti, as a point of focus. So I'm working accuracy as well. I could have gone a bit deeper with these squats. These are roundhouse defenses, kind of pulling the toe to the knee, making sure that the shin is flexed, getting the knee on the inside of the elbow, keeping the fist right up against the chin, not dropping the hand in case the kick comes high. Zoom through these. Squats are probably the easiest part of this workout. And then here I'm using an ab mat underneath my spine just to support the lumbar spine. And then also strapping my feet in, because I just find that if I'm going to do a hell of a lot of reps, yeah, I think it's just reasonable to use a bit of support for the old feet. So here, forward arrow right into the pad. This is a default flinch response, so if you mess up and the guy throws first, you have to kind of just default into him. 360 defense with a strike at the same time. Shielding, twisting the core as I come up. And then jab cross. It's 50 of these, so quite a lot. Let's zoom through them. I think what happens is I switch over to using palms as well. So just as we're practicing our punching, we should also practice palming in case we damage the hand, damage our knuckles. We want to be able to palm as well. So 50 of them. Now, here we go. 3-minute plank, right? You could do this high. I did it low. It turns out that you can do this with, again, hammer fists behind you. So you can make small movements. I choose to make minimum movements. I want to keep my hips level with my shoulders, so I might turn side to side to take the pressure off my elbows, but I really want to keep my hips low, pull the belly button into the spine, really round the lower back, pull the pelvic floor in, and keep breathing smoothly. This is tough, especially after you've done all of those sit-ups and after you've done all the push-ups, because after all you're maintaining a kind of high plank as you do those. Zoom through this. I think I need to kind of pause and just, shake out my hands and elbows with a minute of these to go. Oh, I've got a cold now, so yeah, looking back at this workout when I was all fit and warm, earlier in the year is I'll be back. A little bit of rest. I wanted to take minimum rest between the sets of this. I'm just moving, just enough to move between stations. So here I'm applying a bit of chalk for these towel grip pull-ups. Towel grip pull-ups are probably the hardest part of KMG's physical dimension. This is a much more relevant pull-up, I feel, for if like you're going to grab someone by the lapel and maybe wrench them into a strike. And also if you're going to grab someone by the forearm as well, because the shearing force is going this way. So when you hold onto a towel, or in this case I'm using Scramble's grapple grips right on the bar, this is a much more useful way of training your grip for a pull-up than when you hold onto a bar itself. I like thick bars as well, but yeah, this is really, really good. One tip I will give you is to use chalk. That's what I just did. So even if your hands aren't sweaty, I just find that having chalk allows me to grip onto either the grapple grip or the towel better. Here I'm trying to just round my pelvis as I did those, so I get a good stretch of the lat at the bottom, make sure I get full stretch, and I'm not cheating the rep. Those are tough, right? I've been doing pull-ups for about 30 years, so it still took me a couple of years to kind of get used to doing those. We've had them in the system now for like 4 years. Okay, jab-cross-sprawl. 60 of these in 5 minutes, so you got a few seconds to knock these out, but you got to keep a pretty steady cadence all the way. I think I did all of these in orthodox, and then in the second round I did them in southpaw. I could be turning that rear heel and rear hip a little bit more, I think. This could definitely be harder if you're actually throwing strikes to, say, like a heavy bag or partner held pad. That's going to take this up to a completely different level of intensity. 48 seconds left to spare on this round, so that's pretty impressive for me, I think. I like that. Now, there was no prescription, but I took a 2-minute rest. Whenever I design these kind of workouts where we go by rounds with my clients, I like to kind of put in a 1-minute or 2-minute rest. Sometimes I go 90 seconds, but yeah, it's nice to have a little pause, drink some water, prepare yourself for the work that's about to come, because this is a tough workout. It's a lot of reps. I did it in 32 minutes. I didn't actually know if I could do it when I started. Here we go. So right back into these push-ups, getting a good depth. Chest is nearly touching the floor, trying to keep the spine rounded. Here, getting these hammer fists, getting these punches. It's actually easier to do push-ups this way than if you do a CrossFit workout like, say, Murph, where you have to do them pretty much unbroken, so you don't get that pause at the top where you're doing like a strike or a defense. It's 30. I wanted to do 30, all of these sets like unbroken, so I didn't want to stop in between, and I wanted to take minimum rest between the sets, having taken that 2-minute break. Back to these sit-ups, steam through these, and yeah, these were harder the second time round, definitely. Just trying to keep a consistent pace through these, not slow down, but it was tough. And now, here we go. So this is definitely the hardest part of this workout. This second 3-minute plank that seems to go on absolutely forever. And I know, just a couple of cat-cows just to get the spine ready, after all those sit-ups and push-ups. And the first plank is gonna suck. I think I left this in real time so you could actually see how much time I took before I started. Wipe the sweat off. And then, yeah, straight into it. So, 3 minutes of this, I squirm. The core's hurting. I'm shaking. You can see me twitching. I'm just trying to shift side to side, cursing the thing, swearing. Yeah, there you go. A minute left on the time. This plank was tough. A really long time, just trying to keep the hips down, shaking my hands out. Can't believe it, the clock's almost going backwards here. And collapse. That was tough. Okay. Yeah, you know, mate. Here we go. Now I really need the chalk because my hands are going to be really, really sweaty. And I wanted to do these unbroken. Doing sets of 8 of these pull-ups is something I'm quite familiar with. Whether I could do 8 and then 8 again after doing this particular range of calisthenics, I didn't know because I hadn't actually done the workout before. If you haven't got a pull-up, by the way, just get training on them. Everyone should be able to do a pull-up. Girls can do pull-ups now. It took one of my clients 13, 14 months to get her first pull-up, and then she got to like 3. It's harder for girls, but I mean, like, every single person can and should be able to do a pull-up. It's just important for, say, like, if you're doing a wall run and you're running away from someone, you want to be able to pull your weight up over something, and a pull-up is just a vital exercise to make sure you got the strength to do that. Pausing at the bottom now, I need to take a couple of breaths. I'm really trying to supinate, so turning and using the long head of the biceps as I come up. Full stretch of the lats at the bottom. And yeah, I wanted to show all of this in real time so you can actually see it. Yeah, those were tough, so I managed 8 of those unbroken. Love that exercise. Massively recommend it if it's not in your repertoire already. So now, jab-cross-sprawl. A couple of deep breaths, a bit of procrastination, a few adjustments here. I use a face target on this Versus bag by Century. I find it's good to have like something to hit. I'm also hitting a face target that is 5'10", so that's the average height of a man in the United Kingdom. And as a shorter dude like myself, it's important to kind of be hitting upwards. Here I'm doing these in southpaw. It's interesting that I'm turning the heel and turning the hip a little bit more in southpaw. And just trying to maintain a good steady cadence here. 60 of these, so you need to knock out 1 every 6 seconds. So I'm just trying not to go too fast here. Pretty knackered at this stage, especially when you're coming back up from that sprawl after all of these movements. Blast through them at a constant pace. This last 2 minutes is pretty hellish. Pouring with sweat. And yeah, this was pads or something like that, or a heavy bag. You definitely take this workout up to the next level. So there it is, G5 by KMG, really good workout. I would have liked to carry maybe, or some kind of rotational exercise as well. But yeah, just really, really tough exercise. And I think if you can do all of this, it means that you're probably ready for your black belt test. Hope that was interesting. Hope that was fun. Give it a try. Rock on.